All right, Bears fans, who wants free money? I know I do. I could use some extra cash. Maybe I should ask Chat Sports for more money. But hey, we're giving you guys free money if we get 1,500 comments on this video. So here's what you got to do. You got to be subscribed, number one. So go ahead and hit that big red button, youtube.com/BearsNow. 2, comment on this video, and one of you guys will win $25 via Venmo. You can comment anything. Go ahead and do it right now. And let's get today's Bears Now episode underway. All right, on today's show, I'm talking about Taylor Gabriel replacements. I'll go through 5 players in free agency the Bears could target, as Chicago has released Taylor Gabriel, released him along with Prince Amukamara to save up some cap space. Letting Gabriel go freed up $4.5 million. We talked about this leading up to the actual release, that this felt like a very good possibility. The Bears went ahead and did that. Now, when you cut players, typically you got to replace them, so I will get to my 5 free agent targets in just a moment, but this is what the depth chart looks like as of now. You feel good with Allen Robinson, who had a great year last year, Anthony Miller, who can play slot, he can play outside. Cordero Patterson, to me, not a starting caliber receiver, more of a gadget/special teams player. We'll see if Wims or Ridley can develop in the next couple of years, but I still think the Bears need some help at the wide receiver position. So that's where we're sitting as of now. Taylor Gabriel is out. But what do you guys think? Was cutting Taylor Gabriel the right choice for the Chicago Bears? If you think it was, type Y for yes. If you don't think it was, type in for no. Now let's get things started with Paul Richardson. He's played the last several years with the Washington Redskins, but they released him in the last couple of weeks when they released Josh Norman as well. Breakout year in 2017, got the bag, 5 years and $40 million. Hasn't been able to stay healthy. Last 2 years, he's missed 15 games. He's only played in 17 of 32 possible games. When he's healthy, I think he's a solid number 2 type of wide receiver. In 2017, he had over 700 yards, but as you guys see, the numbers are down the last couple of years because he can't stay on the field. So if you're Chicago, hey, 1 year cheap deal, 1 year, $3 million for a guy like Paul Richardson. He's still only 27 years old. It seems like he's been around for a while. Still a player who's young, definitely not past his prime by any means. For him, it's all about staying healthy. I think he could benefit from playing on the opposite side of Allen Robinson. Should the Bears draft or sign a wide receiver? Obviously, the answer can be both, but let's, in regards to replacing Taylor Gabriel, a starting caliber wide receiver, type D for draft, type S for sign. We've talked about both here on Chicago Bears. Now we've talked about draft targets. We've talked about free agency, doing more of that today. I'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. Go ahead and scroll down and answer this question. Should the Bears draft or sign a wide receiver? Next player up here, we got Phillip Dorsett, who's set to enter free agency. He's been with the Patriots the last couple of years, the Colts before that. Hasn't been quite as productive with New England. Obviously, Tom Brady typically has his favorites. He's got Edelman. He's had Gronk in years past, obviously, before he retired. Dorsett did some nice things in New England, but got a little buried on the depth chart at times. He's kind of a gadget player. He can play inside. He can play outside. He's got good speed. I like him in the jet sweep game, which the Bears should do more of in 2020. They'll probably do some of that with Tariq Cohen as well. I don't think New England's going to bring him back. They got to decide, or really come to the conclusion of whether or not Tom Brady's still going to be their quarterback. If he is, it's going to cost them a lot of money. I don't think Dorsett will cost a lot on the open market per se. I think he's in that $3-4 million per year range. 2 years, $8 million for Dorsett. Get some more speed on this offense. You could sign me up for that. You see what he's done over the last several years. Back in 2016, kind of had that breakout year with the Colts. Patriots trade for him. Hadn't been super productive, but hadn't had a ton of opportunities either. I'd like to see him in the return game as well. I think he could return kicks and do a good job in that area. But a gadget player who can line up at all the wide receiver spots, I think he would be a solid third wide receiver for this Bears offense. Now, I know a lot of you guys want to know Amari Cooper, A.J. Green. Those guys are too expensive. Chicago's not going to pay up for Amari Cooper. A.J. Green's going to get at least $14 million on the open market, despite not playing last year. Emmanuel Sanders, could they maybe pay for him $11-12 million per year at least? I don't think they will. He's on the wrong side of 30. Robbie Anderson's going to cost a lot. And I don't want to hear about Josh Gordon. He has been suspended again. I actually think this time there's a good chance his NFL career is over. I've seen a couple of you guys in the comments asking about Josh Gordon. I do not think that's a possibility. I do not want Josh Gordon in Chicago. What I do want is some more Bears gear, and I think you guys should as well. Chatsports.com/Bears sale. A lot of this stuff on sale, up to 50% off, only for a limited time, though, so you got to take advantage of this. T-shirts, hats, jerseys, all kinds of stuff on sale with our partners, Fanatics. Chatsports.com/Bears sale. Check the comments, check the description. The link will be in there for you guys. You can go ahead and order all of this stuff today. This game day polo, $20 off right now. Not going to last forever. Chatsports.com/Bears sale. Let's keep this thing rolling with Demarcus Robinson as we go through some free agent Taylor Gabriel replacements after Chicago let him go last week. D-Rob, I like Demarcus Robinson. He's got some upside with big playability. The problem is the Chiefs have like 27 good players on offense, so he doesn't get a ton of opportunities. He's a little inconsistent, has some bad drops at times, but when he's on, he's really good. He torched Oakland for about 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns in the 2019 season. Has some vertical ability, which the Bears could use more in this offense. I'm very curious to see what his market looks like. I have no idea. Is he going to fall behind with all, Cooper, AJ Green, all those guys getting big money? Could you get him on a cheaper deal than expected? If you can, I would like to bring him in. He was still fairly productive in an offense that was loaded with talent in Kansas City, but I honestly have no clue what his market is. It wouldn't shock me if someone threw him $10 million a year, but he might also make $4 million per year. And it's no surprise he didn't have huge numbers, because when you have guys like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Watkins, Hardman, and Damian Williams even, you're not exactly a focal point of the offense in Kansas City. I don't think the Chiefs are going to bring him back. They got to decide on Sammy Watkins as well, if they're going to cut or keep him. If they cut him, he could be an option for the Bears possibly. But Demarcus Robinson, I like his upside. For the right price, I think he is worth a look. What's also worth a look is, well, at least I hope, Chicago Bears now. We're growing like crazy. Crossed 3,000 subscribers the last couple of days. Let's keep it rolling. Get to 5,000 by April 1st. You see the link down below, youtube.com/Bears now. If you're watching on our Bears Only channel, go ahead and hit that big red button. If you're watching on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, well, you should subscribe to Bears Now, because this video was up several days before. Number 2 player here, I got Randall Cobb. Now, a lot of you guys are probably going to say, Randall Cobb, he's older, he's a slot player. Yeah, those things are true. But what's also true is he was probably the most productive player, actually was the most productive player out of all my players on this list. Played really well in Dallas, benefited from playing next to a number 1 receiver in Amari Cooper. I think he could do similar things next to Allen Robinson, who gets double-teamed quite a bit. I like this idea as well, too. If you don't want to pay for a tight end, Randall Cobb is that ideal safety net. He's going to get open, especially on key third downs, and I think Anthony Miller is good enough to switch and slide to the outside. He did it some in college. He's done it some with the Bears. He's played primarily slot, though, in Chicago. Look at the production. 55 catches, over 800 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's an offense that had Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and Ezekiel Elliott, and for some reason they kept featuring Jason Witten in 2019, the Dallas Cowboys. And Cobb was still really, really productive. Bounce back year, he stayed healthy, he's familiar with the NFC North and the Bears, having played with the Packers. I think this fit makes some sense. I just wonder what his market value looks like after having a nice 2019 season. So what type of wide receiver should Chicago sign in free agency? If you think it's a slot receiver, type SL. If you think it's O, type outside. I think overall, I want to look at a solid outside receiver. I like Anthony Miller in the slot. But if they sign Randall Cobb, I'm on board. I like Randall Cobb. He's played for a long time. He's a student of the game, former quarterback in college. I think he could help out Mitchell Trubisky. I think he is certainly an exception to the rule in this regard. Now, I want you guys to get signed up with BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. You go to chatsports.com/bet. You can bet on NFL win totals already for next season. Bears slated to go 8-8. Already hammered the over on that one. Use our promo code NFL120. It'll get you that 120% deposit bonus. No sports deal out, no sports book deal out there is better than that. Chatsports.com/bet. That'll get you to the sign-up page, and then use that promo code NFL120. My top Taylor Gabriel replacement, how about Breshad Perriman? Yeah, the same Breshad Perriman who was considered a bust because he did nothing with Baltimore. All of a sudden, he goes to Tampa Bay, plays with Bruce Arians, Jameis Winston, and those boys. He has a breakout year. Was really good last year. Had like almost 400 yards the last 3 weeks of the season. He was really, really good. Now, it's fair to ask, is this fool's gold, or is Breshad Perriman finally here? Because coming out of college, he was this big, physical, 6'2", 220-pound player out of Central Florida that everybody was hyped about, but then he didn't do much, had some injuries. Got healthy this year, played really, really well, 18 yards per catch. I want more of that in this Bears offense. Not a lot of big plays in 2019. Breshad Perriman could provide that. I think one-on-one looks with Allen Robinson on the other side would be really, really exceptional with Perriman. You keep Miller in the slot. He's my top free agent target. I wonder, is he going to get a bigger contract than expected because he had a big 2019? He's certainly going to try and get paid because you got to strike while the iron is hot, but if you can get him in that $7-8 million per year range, I think it's worth it. I like his upside. I think he's finally starting to flourish in the NFL. Give me Breshad Perriman on the Chicago Bears. But I'll leave it to you guys. You guys are why we do the show. Which free agent wide receiver do you want the Bears to sign? Is it someone on my list? Is it someone else? I'll recap my 5. Paul Richardson, Phillip Dorsett, DeMarcus Robinson, Randall Cobb, and Breshad Perriman. These are the 5 I've outlined for Taylor Gabriel replacements. I think they're in the Bears price range, and I think they would be a good fit on this Bears offense.